This week we're looking at number 3 in our study on the book of Romans, and this one's entitled The Human Condition. And what Paul is trying to point out here as we look at Romans chapter 3 is that there is really no difference. Here I'm standing outside a disused, an abandoned factory from the Soviet era, kind of a good symbol of our human condition. Everything breaks down, everything falls apart, everything decays. This is who we are, this is the world we live in, and because of sin, this is what happens. It's a tragedy, but there is no difference, and that's what Paul is talking about, the relative differences between the Jew and the foreigner. And he's saying, really, even though the Jews had the advantage of knowing the truth about God, they didn't exploit that. They didn't have that real advantage. They went down the wrong way. They didn't listen to God. They rebelled. They didn't follow his ways. And then on the other hand, the Gentiles, the foreigners, they fell to false gods and didn't do what was right at all. So there's no difference. We all are cursed by the same problem, the fatal disease of sin, whatever you want to call it. Failure to follow the right way, falling short of the mark, a fatal disease. We know that in the end what awaits us, and sadly this is the truth for all humanity. But, and this is where Paul is coming to, there is the good news, the answer to the human condition. And that's what he's spelling out here in the book of Romans. The glorious good news that there is an answer, that it isn't something that we make up. This is something that God gives to us because he is a gracious, loving God. Yes, we follow on from our parents in the fall, but ultimately he is working with us to change us, to turn us from these enemies into friends, to rewire our systems, to change us from the inside out. 1 Corinthians 15, we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye. And God will help us to be the kind of people that we want to be for all eternity. He is the only one who can do this for us, and he is the one who promises. We're going to come to that very soon in terms of we talking about the promise. But for the moment, let us understand that in dealing with the human condition, only God can save us. Only God can heal us. And that applies to everyone. We are all sinners in the need of God's healing grace.